Hello, my name's David Meece. How's everyone doing today? Good, good. Yeah, and my talk, of course, is going to be over how to grow your LinkedIn account, social media presence, personal branding. You know, it's mostly focused on students and career transitioners. You know, to try to just stand out on social media to uh, give you more visibility to hiring managers and recruiters. But yeah, how many people today has a LinkedIn account? So pretty much at least about half, yeah, people. But yeah. But anyway, the ones that don't have a LinkedIn account, hopefully they'll take something away from the talk today and maybe create one if you're, especially if you're looking for another job or just trying to build, your professional or network. As I say, it's your professional network. You meet a lot of friends too, along the way that can help you out in the future. But yeah, this is appears a Stronger Together book that we curated, me and my author Emily's the cock, and we had interviewed over 100 women in cybersecurity, and we're if anyone wants to, I promise I'm not trying to fish anyone today, but there's also a link underneath if anyone doesn't. I know it's a cyber conference, so if anyone don't want to click the QR code, we can just, or if it don't work, you can just put in the address. But yeah, we're donating. Anyone that does buy this book, it's 100% is donated to Women in Cybersecurity. So it's Lynn Dom's organization. So, but yeah, just a little bit about myself before we get started. I've worked different sectors in the industry, in the financial, healthcare, and I worked on some DoD contracts, things like that. I started out in IT support, and I went from IT support to system administration, and then I went from there to I started studying, getting more into cybersecurity, which I was doing some security as a system administrator at the company before, but I wanted to really dig in and learn as much about cybersecurity as I could, and then I went on and moved on to a SOC analyst position, and now I'm currently also teaching in the education first year students. But we'll go ahead and talk about building a personal brand. What I like to do myself is go on YouTube, like if you're and writing on blogs such as Medium. I don't know if anyone's familiar with Medium, but yeah, you can write blogs on Medium, and then you can turn that potentially into a YouTube video, and then from there, you could cross post it. Let's say if you was doing, for example, if you was studying for Security Plus certification, let's say if you read one chapter, and then if you wanted to write about it, you could cross post it on all the different social media platforms. That way it gets more visibility, just putting yourself out there to, like I said earlier, just giving you more visibility to hiring managers, recruiters. Building your personal brand, like I'm doing today, is public speaking. That's one way to gain more exposure to other speakers and volunteers in the community and leaders and more leaders in the cybersecurity community. About 2 years ago, like Daniel was saying earlier, I can't stress enough either about volunteering, because I was able to get my first cybersecurity position by volunteering. I volunteered for a nonprofit for about 1 year, and I was writing cybersecurity blogs for them. After I would get on LinkedIn and write what I was learning, whether it be like something from a CTF, something from my Security Plus book, whatever I was learning, I would put that, on LinkedIn each week. I did that for 1 week, one time a week for about 1 year. And then I had actually a hiring manager reached out to me from a SOC analyst company, and he really liked my work I was doing on LinkedIn. And he also, he had seen 2 or 3 more people on LinkedIn as well. He actually hired me along with 2 other people and that's just by putting yourself, I always tell people, just don't be afraid to put yourself out there if you're, especially if you're looking for a job in cyber. I mean, just by putting yourself out there and the willingness to just talk to people and learn as much as you can. That just goes so far in the community. And last year, talking about professional networking here, last year, well, not last year, but 2 years ago, I volunteered here at Hack RedCon, and now here I am, like, speaking this time at Hack RedCon, but I love giving back to the community. I always say I always try to give more than I take, because just trying to repay, like reaching back behind you and just trying to help the next person along. But yeah, just a little bit about virtual networking. Discord is a really good place. Found a lot of job post listings on Discord, and a lot of people, learn. It's a really good learning environment, and you can meet a lot of people that way as well. And I always say, don't limit yourself on just one conference. Like, go to different types of conferences, like ISC Square, ISSA. Like these conferences like this, or just like local conferences, just to be more like faceted. But this is geared. This slide here, I mean, it'll help. It's more geared toward beginners that's trying to get in the industry. But I mean, it's good for people that's already in the industry as well, because we can all learn. There's always say, like someone said earlier, just never. I never want to be like the smartest person in the room, because there's always someone, in the room that knows more than you, that you can learn from. But as I was saying, the Discord communities earlier, Simply Cyber is really good. If anyone's connect to Gerald Ozier, Black Hills Information Security, TCM. As you see on here, the CTFs, then learn from a teacher. If anyone's looking to get, I don't know if anyone's studying for Security Plus or any kind of CompTIA certifications, but if you are, that Slay Security Plus, and that's a really good place to learn. It's completely free. They do cybersecurity trainings CompTIA like every week, and I'm more than welcome, or you're more than welcome to anyone that wants any of these slides later. I can send them to them if anyone's interested in the slides. And just moving on to like not personal branding, but more like this would be more the career development side, and just like I said earlier, like writing blogs, CTFs. Jason Blanchard, he has he has some really good job hunting tips, and then also how to create a better InfoSec resume. Jason Haddix, he has a really good resume template that you can download and use. And like I said, just don't be afraid to reach out to hiring managers, recruiters. If you and ask if they'll do like a 15-minute informational talk with you. Just because when I first started in the industry, I was just amazed and floored. You would be surprised how many people that's actually willing to help you, as long as you if you just put yourself out there and ask, and like I said earlier, just try to always just always try to give back more than what I take, but you'll be surprised how many people will reach out. But yeah, just demonstrating, going back to documenting. Like I said earlier, CTFs is really good to document. Home labs, there's a really good IT Active Directory lab that Kevin Alpenario, KevTech YouTube channel, he has. It's completely free if anyone would like to go on there. And also Cybersecurity labs. It's Josh Madakor. He has like 3 or 4 different labs that you can. He shows you how to set the labs up, everything you need on YouTube, and then he shows you how you can put those labs, turn them into bullet points to put that on your resume, and that actually that gives you exposure to using real world tools and things, and that really stands out, I believe, to hiring managers, because I know like when I first started, a lot of hiring managers, they'd tell me that they was looking for people that's building their own labs and learning, and breaking them and fixing them and just constantly learning. But yeah, just a little bit more about LinkedIn. As of, I probably need to update my slide, but this was just about the same from about a year or so ago. But only 54% of people, has less than 500 connections, and then only 4% of users has 2,000. It looks like connections. But there's just so much and so many professionals out there that you can connect with on LinkedIn. I believe LinkedIn is one of the biggest social media platforms that has cybersecurity professionals. That's all where they reside at, is on LinkedIn. But yeah, it's just a little bit. I started out probably in 2020, growing my LinkedIn account and just putting myself out there. I started, like I said, I would post on LinkedIn about one time per week, and then I got to where I would post. At the time I was studying for my cybersecurity, or I'm sorry, my Security Plus certification, and I studied. I actually went and I failed the exam once, and then I went back and kept studying and and then I went in and I passed the exam the second round. But as I was learning, just trying to pass get my Security Plus certification, I would document, like I would go back, I would read a chapter, I would go back and highlight notes, and then I would document everything that I would learn on LinkedIn. And I did that, like I said, and that's a really good. I did that for over a year, like I said earlier, and then hiring managers, and recruiters, started reaching out to me. So if you're willing to just put in the time and the work to do all the home labs and writing about them, different things, I feel like it will pay off for you. And like I said earlier too, just going and volunteering. I know so many people that's gotten jobs just by volunteering their time and just providing value. I know someone like at college back home, that's how they got started in IT, is like volunteering, doing stuff at the college and in IT and just putting themselves out there. But I'd like to talk about, finding. This is, like I said earlier, geared more toward students, but it could be also if you're wanting to change or pivot in your career. This is personally what I did starting out. I finally found my focus in cyber, and I found that to be, which I had worked in system admin type roles. I was doing like MFA, Duo security, identity access management, and then a little bit also some physical door controls, or on like controlling the access controls on different doors and stuff in the building. But after that, I just started leaning toward the defensive side, because I really love the defensive and the learning too about the offensive. But at the time, defensive really stood out to me, so I found that focus. And there's a platform, if anyone's wanting to get into deep blue teaming, it's called Let's Defend, the platform, and you can register. It's completely free. And Let's Defend, I mean, it's about as real world as their trainings, CTFs. It's about as real world as it gets, as far as that's been the best, and some of the best training that I have personally found is Let's Defend. And there's also I don't promote these companies or anything, but I do like them, because that's where I started out, like Let's Defend. And there's also one called Range Force. If anyone, I don't know if anyone's familiar with Range Force or not, but it's also a really good platform to learn blue teaming. But yeah, as far as like after you find your focus, what I did, I identified like 10 different companies, and I would like reach out to people, in the companies, and then also reach out to like recruiters, hiring managers, things like that. I've gotten jobs, that way too, that you might not, you connect and just ask around if they're hiring, within the company, whatever it may be. And I've also found contracts and just like that too. But that's what I try to do, is just target like your 10 most companies that you want to work at, and then just keep, like I said earlier, just keep being consistent and just don't give up, and don't be afraid to, like I said earlier, just reach out to and ask for a talk from hiring managers. But yeah, LinkedIn, it is really a level playing field for everyone, because anyone, I know if, especially me, like being more introverted, I know that anyone can, if I can do, I know that anyone can do it, as long as they just be consistent, put themselves out there and try their best to, and that's all, that we, as far as like, public speaking and just talking to people and trying your best that you can. But here's some professionals that I would recommend, especially, let's say, if you're wanting to get into the GRC side, for instance. I would reach out Kirsten Powell. She's someone that would be, I feel like, would be good to learn from if you're wanting to learn more about the GRC. And then, of course, Philip Wiley, for like offensive security, is one of the best person. He's also got he also taught at, I believe it was Dallas or somewhere, adjunct, but he has some of his slides from where he was teaching in class on YouTube that you can also look up. They're really good. Really good to learn from, and he uploaded them completely for free on YouTube. It was the same. I think it was from his pen testing book, pretty much. That's the same as that. And then Mary Galloway for ethical hacking. Mike Miller, he posts a lot of free content and tries to guide students and career transitioners in the right direction. But here's a little challenge that I personally came up with, and I've had a lot of good luck. I did this challenge myself, and I've had a lot of people, or a few people, that's reached out. I've had about 2,000 or 3,000 people that had followed the challenge, and a few hundred, I know, people has done the challenge. They've reached out to me and said that recruiters, had reached out to them, and I had a few people that's actually gotten hired just by showcasing their skills, where people can actually see what you're doing, see your work. But what I did, I would write about CTFs, like I said earlier, like if you're studying for certifications, whatever it may be that you're learning, just documenting your journey on there and just being consistent. So if you was wanting to, for instance, go into blue teaming, just learn write as much as you can. Or if you was going into offensive security, the same thing. But if anyone would like to join the challenge, it's just hashtag CyberTechDave 100 Days of Cyber Challenge. I know that's a mouthful to say, but yeah, it's a long hashtag. But yeah, just And like I said, if anyone would like to do the challenge, it's completely free on, just LinkedIn. And you can also look to see what other people is doing as well that's doing the challenge. But yeah, just like I said earlier, just don't be afraid to put yourself out there, and just keep leveraging social media. And but yeah, most folks, they really do underestimate the power of networking on LinkedIn. Just like since I first started, it's opened up so many doors. I've gotten like so many different job opportunities, different people reaching out to me, recruiters, hiring managers, done a lot of contract work. Also, just by putting yourself out there, and I was community. I love building community, and that's what I do on LinkedIn. Pretty much every week, I post about like resources that students and career transitioners can use to help level up their career in LinkedIn. And like 2 years ago, I was honored by SANS to be someone had nominated me for community award, the best community award, and I'm just thankful that we went in and we at SANS, and then I won the community award. But it's not really about me. It's I love like I said, I'm really passionate about helping the students, and you all is what makes everything everything worthwhile that I'm doing. And I know if I could just help, I know it sounds cliche, but I mean, if I could just help one person, that's all that matters to me. If just one person can take something away, or if I can make a connection to someone, or make an introduction, to someone else, and that's how you do. You just meet one person, networking, and you never know like what the next door might lead to. But yeah. But yeah, does anyone have any, I think that's about it. Does anyone have any questions at all?